Hey y'all, I was just watching that American in Ukraine, Johnny FD, that I was talking about on WV Prepared Minds live stream the other night. Um, yeah, he pissed me off. He was doing his video literally shaming a guy in a grocery store that he called it panic buying. The guy was just buying enough food to survive on. And it's like, oh, it's pretty calm here. This is the only guy panic buying. Like, you know, they're taking rifles very, very similar to this, almost exactly like this, except this one doesn't have full auto, and putting them in the hands of school teachers and truck drivers and construction workers to protect their country. One school teacher was asked, "Have you ever shot a gun before?" He said, "No, but I'll figure it out." That is the kind of patriotism that we should have in this country, that we used to have in this country. I mean, it still exists, but it's so diminished now. I don't spend a lot of money on preparedness anymore. I don't have to because I'm prepared. I've had this for about, I don't know, I actually bought it on layaway. So I just finished paying for it a couple of days ago. But I put it on layaway like 3 weeks ago. And it's a Zastava, Serbian. It's everything on it is pretty accurate as far as what they're carrying in this war right now. Um, it just amazes me. Well, that guy Johnny FD, he's a Californian from San Francisco. If that tells you anything about him, the only thing he's doing in Ukraine is doing his channel to make money and to try to sleep with Ukrainian women. And lo and behold, here came a war. But that's his whole purpose for being over there, as far as I can tell. Um, Not very impressed with him as a human. He's kind of a douche, to put it mildly. Um, Something else I bought. You remember those? I haven't unwrapped it or anything. I'm not going to. Those lifeboat rations. Um, they're still really cheap as far as disaster preparedness food goes. I got 4 bricks of them. There's 2 per package, and each one's supposed to last 3 days worth of food. So here's 12 days worth of food right here, and it comes up to like $3 a day worth of food. So, and they're good. They're good, and no matter the temperature, hot and cold, you can put them in the trunk of your car, and they're good for 5 years. They're not real thirst provoking. I mean, they're lifeboat rations, right? So they're not gonna be thirst provoking. They taste pretty good. I did a taste test on one, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and it was tasted like shortbread cookies. These here, I bought a couple of different flavors. I think this one's the dark colored one is cinnamon, and the other one, it's not lemon. It might be vanilla, which would be the shortbread cookie taste. So I think it is, but the other ones are cinnamon, And I've had those before too, and they're pretty good. So, I mean, there's no point in being disgusted by the food you're eating, right? So, being prepared is something that I live by. And when I see somebody that's in an actual war zone, it's like, oh, I bought 2 bags of food and I feel like it's too much. You're an idiot. You'll be one of them. If that city goes into siege, you'll be one of them that is standing there with his hand out to the government saying, please feed me. And if it does go into siege, the military will probably come around and confiscate every bit of food you got. So, good luck. Maybe they ought to put a rifle in your hands and send you to the front line. Show us how underwhelmed you are then, how you like to underreact to a situation. And he's talking about how Putin is such a bad guy and Putin this, Putin that. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have left when you had the chance. You can't now. But since you're there, maybe you ought to get enough food to last a while. You were in a grocery store. There was plenty of food still on the shelves. There won't be for long, especially if this goes into a siege. You think people over here panic when a snowstorm's coming buying milk, bread, and eggs, or they bought up all the toilet paper back in the stupid cold beer scare? You ain't seen nothing yet. War zones, it ain't a game. It's not a fun adventure. You're like this right now because you still have electricity, you still have water, and you still have food. Run out of just one of those things, and we'll see how you start panicking. Anyway, this has turned out to be kind of a reaction video to one of his videos. Didn't mean for it to be, but it kind of brings home the whole idea of the Second Amendment, doesn't it? It's the best case in history for the Second Amendment, for the Ukrainian government to hand out 10,000 fully automatic rifles to civilians that have never fired a round out of a weapon in their lives. Listen up, U.S. government. That's why we own weapons. Yeah, it's an added bonus to be able to defend yourself against an armed robbery or a burglary or something like that. But that's not why we own them. We own them because, well, me for one, I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And most Americans, yes, most Americans feel the same way I do. We have the largest standing army in the, well, I won't say standing army, we have the largest army in the world. And what do I mean by that? Because people are saying, no, we don't. No, China does. 20 million veterans and another 80 to 100 million gun owners. That's what? At least 100 million strong army. Think about that. Like that Japanese admiral or general, I forget his name, but I remember the quote. He said to invade the United States would be pure folly because there'd be a gun behind every blade of grass. Any of you that remember who said that, put it in the comments if you would. I know it was a Japanese officer. I just don't remember his name. Was it Yamamoto, maybe? I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, that's all I got. Till next time, I'm Mount Victoria Kiram. Stay safe out there.